The current Kenyan constitution is exactly the same that resisted the introduction of the BBI. And if anyone, including the UDA-affiliated MPs, try to scrap the presidential term limit from 2 5-year term limit to a limited age of 70 to 80 years, I believe, let someone remind them that they may suffer the same sequence as the BBI. Just have a look at what the UDA-affiliated MPs are now planning.
Yangu ni machache kabisa ya kwamba tumefurahia serikali ya RUTO vile amegawa mabiti, ni kila region, kila community imewakilishwa katika hizo mabiti zote, na hakuna sera nyingi ambayo anataka kutifanya. Hatutaki tufanye makosa tuliyofanya wakati wa Mwai Kibaki. Tulimtoa yeye kazi kabla hajamaliza program zake. Aliacha kiti kwa ajili ya constitution ya 2 terms. Mimi na wabunge wenzangu tuko na mjadala inaendelea saa hizi, na mjadala yenyewe na tunataka kuambia Wakenya ya kwamba mambo ya 2 terms haiwezi kutosha sisi. Tunataka mjadala yenyewe ikuwe ya umri. Mtu akifikisha 75 ndio hawezi contest. Kabla hiyo anaweza contest. So tunaambia mjadala ama terms ama requirement ya constitution ya presidency ikuwe ni umri ya mtu ambaye anagombania kiti, na umri yenyewe ikuwe 75, sio term 2, term 3, term 4. Kwa vile mainchi ambayo zimeendelea kama German, Mikel alikuwa pale miaka karibu 20, Australia ako pale 2013, Norway alikuwa pale miaka 4. Kila mtu miaka 5, 6, 7, 8. Jana tuliona rais wa Sri Lanka ambaye anapelekwa kwa kiti ambayo kusoma ni shida, anatafuta muhula yake wa 5. So sisi kuna mjadala tunaoleta mswada katika bunge, tunasema hiyo mambo ya 2 terms haitufai. Kama rais anafanya kazi nzuri aendelee, hatuwezi kumtoa kabisa. Hiyo ndio muhula tuko nayo.
Personally, I can term those sentiments as premature reasoning, simply because we are barely less than 100 days in office, and here they are, instead of prioritizing on sorting on the hunger and drought issues, here they are planning for the constitutional reforms. But before we concretize on the sentiments, if you're watching for the very first time, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok or Facebook, kindly please just head on to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concerns, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on your notification panel, and by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. His statements are total absurdity, and this has actually confirmed to Kenyans that this is more of a missile that is in the control of a misguided mind. If we are to look at the facticity of his sentiments, then we can come to a conclusion that if the bill is passed in parliament, then RUTO will become the second longest serving president after President Moi. And if indeed this plan is true, then I strongly believe Kenyans across the political divide may come up with a unilateral decision come 2027 and vote against President RUTO, of which he may come down on history as the only serving one-term president in the history of Kenya. I'm saying so simply because I know Kenyans are very good at disappointing, simply because barely less than 4 months ago, they disappointed the former President Uhuru with the so-called government project, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Some UDA allied MPs, on the other hand, seem to be surprised with these sentiments. But personally, I take that as a reverse psychology, just trying to play with the Kenyan minds. Honestly, I see this plan to be a plan that is dead on arrival, simply because even if the MPs pass it in parliament, then I believe Kenyans of goodwill are going to unite and pull it down in the referendum. So in either way, I believe this is a plan that is deemed to fail. Let President William Samoei Ruto play his cards very well, simply because come 2027, if he would have failed to deliver on the promises he promised to Kenyans, and therein there will be a vacuum that will be created for former President Uhuru to bounce back into politics. And if indeed he does so, then I believe he will beat William Samoei Ruto fair and square. I kid you not, if William Samoei Ruto does not come and culminate all what his allied MPs are left, right and center yapping of their plans, then I believe come 2027, whoever will be contesting against President Ruto, if this bill will have been passed, then I believe if he uses that as a campaign tool, that alone is enough for him to gain political mileage and send Ruto and his team back home. Actually, the Kenyans MPs should just desist from the plan of extending the presidential term and focus on the key developments they promised to their people. And if indeed they force their way through, we've seen countries being torn apart simply because they passed things that were against the favor of the common man. And a good example of recently what had happened is Rajapaksa in Sri Lanka was ousted simply because citizen demos were all over the country, to an extent that they marched to State House just to seek for his removal. So our MPs should just desist from it. As I end this, kindly please don't forget to subscribe. And my word advice of the day is that if you're a true man, you'll always take care of two women. Number one, your mom, and number two, your wife. I did not say a girlfriend. Thank you, and may God bless you.